So here's the thing, everyone. It can't be Heat in 6 if you don't lose a couple of games. Am I right? Now, honestly, that is the last positive thing I have to say about this game because it wasn't great. Really, nobody played great on the Miami Heat, so I'm certainly putting a little bit of blame on everyone. But that being said, I want to start with this one play in particular that really grinded my gears. It was in that fourth quarter where Jerome was absolutely going off, and truthfully, he was making Tyler Herro look like a child. It's like Tyler Herro was non-existent, like Jerome saw no defense at all. And honestly, that's because a lot of the times he didn't. Now, I understand I'm going to have a bunch of Herro stands comment like they always do, and I greatly appreciate it because all comments help the algorithm. Leave your thoughts down below and drop a like if you so can. But I understand that this performance from Jerome is likely not sustainable. He had 28 points today, shot like 10 of 15. He got hot. It happens. We've seen random Heat role players get hot. I'm not shocked that Jerome did it to us. It happens against us all the time, too. There's a reason the term random scrub Heat killer exists. And even this one, I don't even think we could classify as that because Jerome is a good player. Like, I know he didn't get off to a great start with his NBA career, but this season, he really took off with the Cavaliers. And I'm not surprised because he was a great player back in Virginia. He was always a big-time shot maker, although his release is hideous. Like, he barely jumps off the ground when he shoots. I thought that I can't jump, which I can't. You can barely slide a piece of paper under me when I jump. But Jerome is the same way. But anyways, he's a good player. He's having a good season, so no disrespect to Jerome, and I acknowledge that it's likely not sustainable. All of that being said, I want to start with this play right here, which really was terrible, pitiful, lackluster defensive effort by Tyler Herro, who doesn't even try to get over the Jared Allen screen, leaving Jerome wide open to catch a three. So for some context, Jerome just had like 9 straight points. He was cooking us. He was so clearly going to shoot another three-pointer. But when you rewind it a little bit here, you see Jared Allen come up to set the screen, and Tyler Herro makes no effort to get over the screen. He does this little spin move like he's a defensive lineman trying to get to the quarterback, just has no speed on it whatsoever, doesn't even try to get out to the Jerome shot to contest it before he releases. Tyler Herro has to get over the screen. This is just terrible effort. The screen comes and he immediately concedes and then does a whole 360, giving Jerome all the space in the world. Now, yes, I know it's a deep three, but for some context, Jerome was lighting it up. That is such an obvious shot from a shooter who's on fire, and Tyler Herro just needs to do better effort getting over the screen. You think Donovan Mitchell would have conceded this? Hell no. Donovan Mitchell would have fought over the screen. Maybe it would have been an offensive foul on Jared Allen, but anything other than this. And then when he does get over the screen, look at him. He's all flat-footed, and he's completely late to the contest. He just put no effort on him. And this play really frustrated me. And the reason that...
Hold the hell up. It's telling me that 53.4% of y'all like Nickelback? That's crazy. Hey, make sure y'all subscribe to fix that. Let's get back into the video.
Sucks because I really wanted Tyler Herro to come into this game and have a great performance. I desperately did because going into this series where, yes, I did pick the Heat in 6, and I'm going to stick with it, there was really 2 X factors for me. Obviously, people might say Bam Debajo, but I trust him. You know, Bam had a decent game today. He kind of took over to start that fourth quarter, so he did show up in the second half, unlike Tyler Herro. But this is also like the 11th straight game scoring over 20 points for Bam Debajo. He has been consistent. He has shown the ability to show up in the playoffs. Where Tyler Herro, that's been one of his biggest downsides, is he seems to disappear in the postseason. And 2 games in, you know, he had the 2 great play-in games. I was thinking, yes, Tyler Herro's off to a hot start to the postseason. Keep it going in the actual playoffs. Then you get into this game today, 17 points in the first half. I'm thinking, yes, there you go, Tyler. You're hitting your threes. You get into the rim a little bit. You had a few free throws. And then he has 4 points in the second half. Was getting absolutely cooked by every single player on the Cavaliers. And it was just terrible. It was just terrible in the second half for him. And then my other X factor was Kel'el Ware, who literally looked like he didn't belong either. The reason he was my X factor is because obviously the Cavaliers are a big team, and I thought he would get a ton of run. He didn't play a lot in the second halves of the playing games, but I'm thinking he's going to need to play in this series. You got big-ass Jared Allen, big-ass Evan Mobley. Kel'el Ware's going to play. He's going to continue looking awesome. And he was terrible. He couldn't catch a rebound. He couldn't catch a pass. He couldn't guard Jared Allen. He really looked completely lost out there and looked like he didn't belong. But I don't be too hard on him. He's a rookie, and I am glad that he's getting the experience. Tyler Herro was the guy that really had an inexcusable second half. I'm sorry. I always like to give these caveats. Oh, I like Tyler Herro. I'm not hating. There's to blame everyone. The smart fans watching this video understand that. But for some reason, Tyler Herro has this conglomerate of stans that just obsess over him, unlike any athlete that I've ever seen before. Oh, I have tons of videos on it. I just can't stand stan culture because they will refuse to look at evidence or listen to other opinions if it goes against their narrative, which is just not how I believe that basketball and sports and media should be consumed. Like, I just feel like it would be better if we looked at it non-biased. And I mean, every commentator stuff's going to have some sort of biases. We're all fans, of course, but you can't look at what Tyler Herro did today and say he had a good game. You just can't do it. But the stands will try to tell you he did. And then they try to fight you in the comments. And I don't know. It's just annoying. Let's get into some of my notes for this game. Where, one, I want to point out that Alec Burks did get the start. We were all kind of questioning if Spo will go back to Davion Mitchell just because the Cavs obviously have a lethal backcourt. I personally would have preferred to get Davion in there in the starting lineup just to kind of set the tone early. But Alec Burks did get the start, although he barely played as we kind of expected. Only got 15 minutes, and he was 2 of 3 from 3. So by all means, he did his job. But then to start the actual game, the Cavs got off to a monster run, 14-5. First play of the game, Max Strus hit a 3, and I'm thinking, oh, God, don't let my guy Strus daddy cook us. Y'all remember back in the day we used to do the Strus daddy alerts? Oh, I miss those. We're not going to do them no more, although Max Strus did play very well today, 3 of 5 from 3. But I did not want to see him get going, especially since there was that quote from Bam going around before the game where he was asked about Max Strus, and he said, bleep Max Strus. And I like that. But yeah, Max Strus kind of got his get back today. I was really wondering how the whole rest versus rust would play into this with the Cavs having a week off and the Heat being on the road for the last week, playing all these high intense games. And honestly, it just looked like the Cavs had more energy from the start. It looked like they were well rested. And of course, being their first home game in this playoffs, that building was going to be rocking. It was all of tonight. So I do give them credit for that. And yeah, they got off to a great start, 14-5. But the Heat would go on a run of their own to take a 2-point lead. You had an aggressive Andrew Wiggins. The Heat were actually started 4-4 from 3. They actually shot pretty well today from 3 overall. Some of the negatives, though, during that run, it looked like Davion Mitchell was over-dribbling a lot. Now, Davion's probably the other guy outside of Bam that had a good game, I'd say. But it just looked like he was trying to replicate what he did in the last game versus the Hawks. It's just a lot of dribbling from Davion. I don't think you should be the guy that should be out there pound, 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 dribble. It just led to some pretty bad offensive possessions, but he did kind of fix it as the game goes on. And I think in spurts, his aggressiveness is good because a lot of times the Cavs are going to try to hide their best defenders on Davion Mitchell. So I want to see him continuing to be aggressive so you can make the Cavs pay for putting a Sam Merrill on him or whoever else is out there. But just work it in spurts, not every single possession, which I do feel like Davion got better at as the game goes on. And then you had Khalil Ware. He had a couple of nice blocks, had a couple on Jared Allen. But that being said, Jared Allen was pretty much cooking him all game. But we already talked about Khalil Ware. Happy birthday to you, my guy. He's only 21 years old today, so he will learn. He will get better. And regardless of how this series goes, I think he had a great rookie season. I really do. But then you had Haywood Highsmith. This is one of the things that really frustrated me. He kept getting matched up on Evan Mobley. For some reason, Bam was on all these guards. He was on Ty Jerome Early. He was on Sam Merrill. Why? I know a lot of that is because the Heat were switching everything. And Evan Mobley did not have a great game. But he kept getting so many easy rebounds. He only finished with 7 today. But there was a lot that the Heat just should have got to end the defensive possession. And Evan Mobley just kept getting them because he was being guarded by Haywood Highsmith. That should never happen. I just think the Heat concede switches way too easily. And then in the second quarter, you had the Heat getting out-hustled on every loose ball, every rebound. And it wasn't just Evan Mobley this time. You had the Cavs guards getting offensive rebounds too. And that was so frustrating because you're already at a talent deficit. You should not be at an effort deficit. And that's what the Heat were for a lot of the game in the first half. Like, they literally were getting out-hustled 2 rebounds. Even Jared Allen outran Bam Adebayo on a rebound. I'm like, what the hell are we doing here? Y'all are the 8th seed. Show some heart. You're actually the 10th seed. You would think the 10th seed would show some more heart and effort than the Cavs, and we just didn't get it today. And I did find that part to be a little bit frustrating. But you also had Bam with a nasty dunk off a Davion Mitchell lob, so I do want to shout him out for that. But in reality, there wasn't much good in that second quarter. I mean, the Heat were getting torched on pick and rolls because whether the Heat were switching or they were doubling, the Cavs kept finding the open shooters, and they were just knocking them down all night. Jerome and Max Strus were open on every single play. Khalil Ware continued getting cooked by Jared Allen. And then on the other side of things, Bam Adebayo had the ball with Donovan Mitchell on him, and like we've seen his whole career, Bam Adebayo can't take advantage of the mismatch. Bam turned it over. Donovan was able to get the steal just because Bam is not super strong in the post, and it's been one of my biggest gripes with him for his whole career. Like, he can have a smaller defender on his back and just doesn't have the moves to take advantage of it. Oh, God, it frustrates me. Donovan got the steal. It ended up being a loose ball. Donovan dove for it, and Bam found him for a tie-up. It was a jump ball. But then Donovan Mitchell won the jump ball on Bam Adebayo. Bam did win the tip, but then the Heat got out-hustled on the tip. So still ended up being a turnover. Bam technically still lost the jump ball, but it's just another example of a play where the Heat got out-efforted because Bam did tip the ball, but the Heat didn't regain possession just because the Cavs got to it first. The Heat made no effort to seal their man. They made no effort to box out. Just pitiful defensive effort that we continued seeing in that second quarter. There was another play where Bam got a steal, and then he slowed down on the fast break. Why? So many effort plays. It's just so frustrating thinking back because the Heat were kind of in this game all game until like 9 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. And if they would have just showed some effort early on, this could have been a tight one down to the wire. It really could have been. But Bam slows down on the fast break. He gets blocked by Jared Allen. But the Heat would end up getting the rebound. Tyler Herro would miss a three. The Heat would get another offensive rebound. Tyler Herro would miss another three. Both of them wide ass open. But then the Heat would get another rebound. Bam Adebayo will go to the line, and he was fouled, and he split the free throws. So you're talking about a possession where the Heat got 4 shots in that one possession, and they had 1 point to show for it. It's just self-inflicted stuff like this that you can't expect to compete with a team already much better than you if you're getting 1 point on 4 possessions. Just a lot of things that I found sad in that quarter. That being said, Tyler Herro hit a big three with about 6 seconds left in the quarter. So that made it an 8-point game at halftime. So as I said, the Heat were still in it. But then you go into that third quarter, the Heat immediately had a turnover off rip, and then Donovan Mitchell was doing whatever the hell he wanted, had a nasty reverse layup where he went up with his right hand, switched it to the left, and like scooped it in. It was just insanely tough. He was doing that all night. He had another one where Andrew Wiggins was coming to block him from behind, but Donovan somehow floated in the air, did like a double clutch, and got it to go off the backboard. He's amazing. And it was so frustrating to me because I feel like the Heat could have had him. But no, the Heat didn't want to trade Tyler Herro on 3 first-round picks. That was the thing back then. That was the report. Because the Heat believed that Donovan Mitchell wasn't 3 first-round picks better than Tyler Herro, which is just a ridiculous thing to say. And it just makes you flash back to all of these moves the Heat could have made over the last 6 years that they just didn't. And now we're in the spot, it being the 10th seed because of it. But yeah, Donovan Mitchell was awesome. I also find it funny because some of those plays that he had, it's like if Michael Jordan did that 30 years ago, it'd be talked about like he was one of the greatest plays ever. Like, we always hear about that Jordan layup where he went up with his right, switched to the left. Like, every player does that nowadays. Like, you see one of those twice a game. You know what I mean? Like, it's just funny to think about Donovan Mitchell was doing that stuff, but you just won't hear about it in 20 years. I don't know. We're done with the 90s, right? What else? Sorry to all my old heads here. I understand the 90s was a good brand of basketball. It's funny to think about. But anyways, let me see what else we got here. So Khalil Ware, at this point, had no rebounds and no assists. He finally got on the board with a nasty putback off a Tyler Herro missed floater. To Herro's credit, he did make a nice move to get the floater off. He split the double team. Looked like something Donovan Mitchell would do. But Herro missed a shot. Ware got the putback. That's really all Ware did today, outside of get a couple of blocks. There was a play where Haywood Highsmith did show great effort on a rebound, boxed out Evan Mobley, but Evan Mobley still got the rebound. It's like you can't win if you're actually boxing out and still not getting the rebounds. You're too small. And I don't know what to do about it because here I am saying Haywood Highsmith is too small, but I'm also saying Khalil Ware sucked tonight. It's a roster problem. Really, at the end of the day, that's kind of why I put the blame on a little bit of everyone, including the front office, truthfully. But the Heat would still somehow cut it to 7. It actually ended up getting to 6 later in the quarter. But when the Heat cut it to 7, the Cavs just started attacking Tyler Herro every single play. And there would be a timeout, and when the camera came back from timeout, it showed a Donovan Mitchell or Davion Mitchell coaching Tyler Herro on kind of how to play defense. You saw Davion pointing like, oh, be here, force him this way. And I just thought that was funny because it didn't work. I think Davion just watches Tyler Herro play defense and it's like, damn, I wish I could be him right now. I wish I could give my talents to him. Or he's probably thinking, why does that guy suck so much at defense? It's not that hard. It's got to be so frustrating when Davion and Bam are locking down their guys every play just for Tyler Herro to get cooked by the 8th guy off their bench. I don't know. Somehow, it was still an 8-point game at the end of the third quarter. Then in that fourth quarter, Bam Adebayo got off to a hot start, was hitting some jumpers, hit a nice 3, but Ty Jerome was doing whatever he wanted because he was wide open every bleeping play, which is what I wrote in my notes, except without the bleep. Then there was another play that pissed me off. Duncan set a great screen. Ty Jerome flopped. They called an offensive foul, or they called a moving screen on Duncan Robinson. And then Duncan Robinson's looking like this. He's like, what are you doing? I wasn't moving at all. How's that a moving screen? And then while Duncan's doing that, Donovan Mitchell comes over and shoves Duncan Robinson out the way. That's a tech. How is that not a tech? You can't just go over to a guy standing there and shove him out the way. It's not like Duncan was standing over Ty Jerome. He wasn't taunting him. He's just standing there in confusion because it was a terrible call in the first place. But no, because it's Donovan Mitchell, he doesn't get called for technical fouls. That's BS, bro. That really was. But anyways, at this point, it was still a game. Bam Adebayo was cooking. But then Spo takes out Bam Adebayo like a dumbass, I guess resting him for the rest of the fourth quarter, which is stupid because obviously when you take Bam out of the game, you're about to get blown out. So by the time you're even going to check Bam back in, what's the point? The game's going to be over. And that's exactly what happens. Spo takes out Bam Adebayo like a dumbass. Tyler Herro would foul Ty Jerome. And then Herro doesn't get the foul call on the other end. Herro goes for layup, falls to the ground. And then Herro's laying on the ground like this, with like doing a starfish. Imagine like a snow angel, actually. He's doing a snow angel on the court for an extra second. The Cavs are in transition. Tyler Herro's still laying on the ground. Ends in a Sam Merrill three-pointer. Just terrible effort from Tyler Herro on that specific play, too. That would put the Cavs up 12 with 6 minutes to go. Then Bam would have finally checked back in. And then he had a mismatch on Darius Garland. Turned it over again. We saw him not be able to score on Donovan Mitchell earlier. Now it's Darius Garland. If the Cavs are going to punish us on their mismatches and the Heat can't do it the same, they're going to get blown out every single game. It's just, they're so unfortunate. But then after that, Tyler Herro continued getting lit the hell up by Ty Jerome. And Herro wasn't doing anything on the other end because, as we said earlier, he only had 2 second-half baskets. We did see Jovic check in garbage time, which was nice to kind of see him. What he ended up getting, like a minute of run. Didn't do nothing, but it was nice to see that he is ready to actually play because I think he will need to be inserted in the next game immediately because the pace of this game was fast. The Heat were too slow, and they needed a secondary ball handler off the bench because Davion Mitchell was doing a lot out there, sometimes too much. And all of those things Jovic can try to do because he can help match the pace of the Cavs. He can be a secondary ball handler, and he has size, so he can help box out Evan Mobley. So Mobley's not reaching over Haywood Highsmith like a child every play and getting rebounds. So I think we'll see some more Jovic going forward. To run through the box score very quickly, Wiggins 14 points, 5 of 11. Defense was okay. Offensively, you didn't get too much. Bam Adebayo 24-9, 10-22 from the field. Again, I don't think Bam played great, but I think he was very good defensively and he was fine offensively. He was fine today. Khalil Ware, had 2 points, 3 rebounds. Awful. Burks, we talked about. Tyler Herro today, 21 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, but he shot 38% from the field. That's awful. And he had 2 assists and 3 turnovers. So more turnovers than assists. Not a good game from Tyler Herro. That's just the fact of the matter. I'm not saying he won't bounce back next game. He might, but today he was bad. That's all I'm saying. Off the bench, Haywood Highsmith, 7 and 6 in 30 minutes. Davion Mitchell, 18 points, 4 rebounds, 9 assists. 9 assists, only 3 turnovers. God, he's good, man. 66% shooting for Davion Mitchell. Yeah, he had a good game today. Like I'll say that he had a good game. Once he slowed it down the pace a little bit in the second half, he had a good game today. He was really the only one getting to the rim for the Heat. The only other player to play substantial minutes, I guess, was Duncan. Only 15 minutes, had 8 points, and Kyle Anderson played 6 minutes. So looking like the Heat's rotation is basically Wiggins, Bam, Where Herro, Highsmith, and Mitchell, those are your 6 big-minute guys, and then you'll get a little bit of a run from Burks, Duncan, and Kyle Anderson, depending on the night. But yeah, that's really all I got to say on the Heat side of things. I mean, looking at the Cavs box score, Mobley and Allen only combined for 21 points. They really didn't do that much. 21 points and 18 rebounds combined for the two of them. That's not a lot. It's really not. But when you look at the other guys, Donovan Mitchell, 30 points. Darius Garland, 27 points. Both those guys shot nearly 60%. And then Ty Jerome had 28 points on 66%. That's your game right there. Because, I mean, if you look at the teams as a whole, the Heat shot 41. Oh, wow. Both teams actually shot 41.9% from three exactly. But the Cavs did hit 5 more three-pointers, so it was on higher volume. But the biggest difference is the Heat had 14 turnovers. The Cavs had 7. You have twice as many turnovers as the other team. It's not going to lead to a good result. But I think that's really all I got to say for this video. I've been talking for way too long. I really struggled with this one because I'm trying to not be super pessimistic, because in a playoff series, you can say it's just one game because teams will make adjustments game to game. So I just try to do my best to give an unbiased, non-over-exaggerated reaction to what we saw tonight and what I think we need to see going forward. That being said, I think it's Heat in 6. Let me know y'all thoughts down in the comments below. I'm very curious to hear what y'all think. Like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff is greatly appreciated. See y'all in the next one. Peace out, everyone.
Look, pull up in your city, tryna get that dead face. Do it on my own, I don't need no dead weight. Had to kill him off, yeah, I need a head space. You know this homegrown bitch don't offend me.